Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to talk to you about the Gangs of Monster Legends events. This is the Progression Island. It is the current one as of, you know, January 17th. January 17th, the event just started, and we got quite a few good competitive monsters for this event. Especially this epic monster here, who is really, really strong, Bunny Bark. As you could tell, this is a dog theme event that also relates to gangsters too. The main star of the show being of both, references of a dog and, Al Capone or Al Canine, as dubbed. This, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best extra guy monsters in the game. He's not really focused on damage. He's more so focused on guard down and stunning and sunburning at the same time, which is extremely good. To have a stun and a sunburn at the same time, a DOT plus a deny, that's pretty good. That's hands down is awesome. We'll talk about him as we go on through explaining what all the other monsters in the event and what they exactly do. But as if this is your first time doing a progression event, basically all you need to do is log in every 8 hours and do the specific task, specifically whatever they tell you, like feed your monsters. So you just basically feed your monsters. If you need to collect gold, you collect gold, like so. Boop, boop. So you got 2 gold there. And it refreshes instantly. Be sure to do this. It refreshes instantly when you get on a new node or when you get on a new monster. The mission is completely refreshed and you can collect all of your items. So if I were to let's say feed a monster, who do I need? Who could I feed? I could feed this Kevin. Let's see if I feed a little baby Kevin here. We'll just wait till he does his baby animation. Is that adorable? Baby animation. He jumps in the air, he does that. We just level him up a bit, and eventually we'll get food. See, we got food. It was hidden behind the other food, but we got the item for the event, and we got 4 food. Usually every 8 hours it's 5 gold and 4 food. Yeah, that's what you usually get, I do believe, and usually just get 1 breeding item per type. If it's like an egg, hatch eggs, you'll get 1 hatch egg, and you'll get 1 breed monster. That's just kind of how that's always been. And the pools always refresh every 8 hours. What does the pool mean? It means just like that's when the stock is full. That's when you will get the item guaranteed. So every 8 hours is when they're all full, or it's like the most optimal pull. If you do this, you will get the most out of this event. You have to do it every 8 hours though, and that's really hard for some people. But if you do this efficiently, you can get pretty far in this event. One person's already on Alex Bone, which is crazy. Which means I can only assume that they will get Al Capone, because that seems doable at that point. If you're already on Alex Bone on day 8, oh yeah, you got plenty of time. You should have plenty of time to get to Alk9 if you're already on Alex Bone, which is crazy, and you probably dumped a bunch of gems on. So at some point, you probably dumped a bunch of gems on probably the legendary, or maybe you spend like 250 on the legendary, and then probably skipped the, or probably didn't even have to skip the cells, because you could just collect stuff. I don't know. I just probably did an efficient gem spending thing, but whatever. But yeah, you came to know what each monster does in the event, so we're going to talk about each and every one and their value. So let's get started. First up, we got the MC Boss. I don't know, maybe the gangsters just kind of thought that this guy was an actual boss. I think that's just his street name, MC Boss, the French prince of the dance floor. But he's like a boss, so I guess they mistaked him for a gangster boss. So what MC Boss does is, I do believe he specializes in self-shielding. In all honesty, he's not too good of an epic. I don't believe. I think he had strong single target, thunder, and earth-based skills. just single target damage, no special things. I do believe he removed shields too with those. I think he's a shield remover and a shield, self shielder, but I think that's it. Not the strongest epic in the game. All right, this next one's really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. Like I checked up on the wiki. I might do even a mini guide on her because her skills are that good. What Bonnie Bark does. Bonnie Bark is the new theme epic for this event. They do a new epic for each, maze, what have you. And this one specifically is able to do an AoE possession plus total blind. So even if the monster is immune to possession, they will be totally blind. And I think it was on a 2 or 1 turn cooldown. The cooldown on this monster is insane, as well as their support value. She has also like a single possession and total blind. Now, will the monsters miss if they have total blind? Yes. When you possess something, you don't want them to miss because they're currently working for you. You just want them to land their stuff. But in this situation, it's fine because you control them and they're not doing anything to you. As far as you're concerned, you're just stalling at that point. And that's fine too, because the other 2 monsters can just proceed to beat the crap out of the rest of the team while they are stalled. Usually it is beneficial, though, if they can damage. With the possession thing, you normally, when you possess something, you want them to do damage or something productive that turn. But when they're missing, it's not ideal. But it's still a good thing nonetheless. You're denying them from doing anything. You're basically blowing off stamina. I think this monster works well with Galante Jr., period. This monster works extremely well with Galante Jr. because he can stamina drain. And essentially, the enemy monster is just going to be out of stamina, and you'll have a bunch of control left over. That's why this monster is really, really good. Highly recommend running full speed. We haven't had a full speeder in a while. I would say the last one was probably... Fucus with his 2-turn possession. It's been a while since we got another epic where it was completely okay to run full speed and, rank her up, because this monster is really, really good. Very good control. After that, you got the 20, I actually forgot what this guy was called, but he was really cool. Carlo Gambino. Carlo Gambino. There we go. Carlo Gambino looks like a man at work, with the brass knuckles and the work straps. He's up to work. Pretty good monster. I don't know how well he plays out yet in the competitive scene because nobody has him yet. And you get 20 cells of him for free. So if there's ever an event, which they usually do, they usually have like a cell trailer week, you can probably get 40 or 60. No, usually 40. At maximum, I think I've gotten 40, at least 40s of a single cell. If you get lucky and get 40 cells of the canine, you can save them up for cell week and essentially make him a solid monster, and or use it just to progress towards that first rank up. So I will say this is an alright reward, or you could just give them to a friend. If there's a friend that absolutely adores this and you absolutely adore them, be a little generous and give them the cells that you got. If you do wind up just completing the whole maze, and you would like to share the joys of Carlo with everyone. Overall, Carlo does dark damage. All of his damage, most of his damage, in all honesty, is dark damage. Is that a bad thing? Depends on who you pair him up with. I will say, like, if you have like Nishan's Pet or Eulatry, very ideal partners for him. I will recommend those monsters with him. They just work. But we'll get to them in a bit. Right now we're going to talk about Gangster Soros. I absolutely, adore Gangster Soros. Gangster Soros is the boss. As you see when you ever watch me play Monster Legends, I have a Gangster Soros called the boss because he is the boss. He is the monster on the battlefield that is very, very tanky. Gangster Soros is able to lifesteal. He's able to weaken to increase the damage so he gets more lifesteal. Basically, if you do it right, if you have like double damage, if he does like over his life cap, you'll for sure get all of his life back, because he gets life back based on the damage for each monster he has hit. So let's say you got a group of 3 monsters, and let's say you damage, your AoE did like 20 damage for each monster. You get 20,000 points back for each of those monsters hit. So if there's 3 20s, essentially you just recovered 60k life back. So obviously, that's very good. He only has one of those. Sadly, he only has one 100% life steal. The other is a 50%, but if you give a little more setup for that one, it should recover just about basically a full life reset regardless. So it's really good life steal. The drawback to this monster is he is slow. That is the only, I will say that's only the only drawback to this monster. If you run this monster, that is the only drawback, is that he's slow at 3,337. I don't think he was that fast. He's pretty slow, but that is it. He's pretty tanky. He's got hardened, I do believe. No, he doesn't have hardened. He's actually immune to possession, which is really good because he's in the family book and has a lot of possessors in the family. The Galante family, he's just really good at not getting possessed, so that's really nice. You can't put this guy with a smile on your face knowing, hey, was probably a good idea. At the same time, though, there are monsters with cooldowns activated in the magic category. Lamuna, Cassandra, Dungeon Master. So just keep those. So pair it up with monsters that can reset your cooldowns like Bowtie, just to be safe against those counters for him. And you should be just fine. Very, very tanky. It's a very tanky monster. It's a very good sustain monster. Damage dealer. It's a pretty good damage dealer, too. The next reward is, I think that's bronze relics. I think you get like 5 bronze relics. That's good for leveling up your other relics. I think, in all honesty, I do think those are bronze relics. I don't know if that's just 5 random relics. Odds are it's just bronze stuff. So it's neat for, ranking up your other stuff, but it's just garbage otherwise. Monster Face. Monster Face is pretty cool. I like him. He references Jason from Friday the 13th. AoE bleeding. Pretty decent metal damage. He also does dark damage too. He just excels at bleeding and just damage. I do believe he's just one of those epics that suffer from old age. Nowadays we got epics that just have high sustain. It's just better to have either an epic that has high sustain and or deny capabilities. I will say if you can rank him up, that'd make him better. that'll make him better and more useful than he is at planned rank. I will say there are better epics. Clearly Bonnie surpasses Monster Face hands down, easy. Design-wise, it is a really cool design monster. The design of this monster has always been really, really cool. Alex Bone. Okay, Alex Bone has been a team race monster. It's interesting because they're giving us, for this event, they're basically giving us a premium monster in the form of Gangster Soros, and they're giving us a team race monster in the form of Alex Bone. Alex Bone is really, really good. One of the top electric monsters in the game, as far as I'm concerned. Able to avoid all damage, essentially with 2 skills, and both of them are on really low cooldowns, like 2 or 3, I do believe. Or they could both be at 2. I don't remember if there was like a 1-turn evade skill. Probably not, that'd be too stupid. But I do believe it was a 2 and a 3 evade. One's an AoE, the other is a single target skill. And he evades all damage until his next turn. This is really, really good. It's not even evade, it's called invasion. It's better than Taiga's invade. If you ever seen Taiga in action, you could know that you can stun him or, deny him in some way, because while invade does block damage, it doesn't save you from deny. Invasion, on the other hand, that's a whole completely different story there. What evasion does essentially just makes you immune to everything until your next turn. You dodge everything. Mega Stun Ultimate, dodge. Mega Stun single skill, dodge. Voltig having infinite turns trying to kill you, dodge infinity because he cannot damage you until you have your turn. This is essentially a really good Voltig counter pick Though it does not save you from, it doesn't save the rest of your team from Voltic shenanigans. At least it preserves your attacker, which is really important to getting rid of the other monsters on the enemy team. I've seen this man run as a denier. I've seen this man run as a damage dealer. All of them are fine roles for this man. You can run him as either a denier and or damage dealer. That's what I will say. Other than, invasion, I just said stun. He has a single target daze, special damage, 65, I believe. Really decent damage. I will say the only downside to this monster, the only drawback to run him, is he's immune to blind. It's nice to know you're not going to miss, but total blind is a thing now. And a lot of monsters have that, so... yeah, that's what he's got that going for it. So, but yeah, beyond that though, there's more reward than risk when we're running this monster. So this monster, again, really, really, really good. I do recommend getting him at some point. If you're not very efficient in these events, just wait for him when he's, on sale. On the other hand, you do need him for the upcoming breeding event. This guy is a monster for the VIP breeding event. This is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the hugest breeding events of all time. Because you're going to get a chance to breed VIPs without even having to have VIP monsters. That's really crazy. Because every VIP breeding in the past always required you only to have the VIPs. It was always VIP recipes. It was never basic stuff. They never offered this before. And this is the first time they're going to do it. So basically, you will need Alex Bone. And I forgot what the other one was. Here, let me pull it up on my... Nah, I'm not going to pull it on my computer. But basically, you do need this guy for an upcoming breeding event. So do get him if you can. I wouldn't say just blow all your gems on it, like blow all your gems to get here. But be sure you are very efficient in this event. So you can pick him up and be as prepared as possible for it. I will say pay, if you needed to. If needed be, pay the normal like $249 price if you have to. Because the breeding event is pretty good. It's just a recommendation. You don't have. I will say you don't do it obviously if you don't feel the need to do it. But I will say that breeding event is really really good. Okay. I actually remember now what his recipe is. Okay, so if you don't like this VIP monster, you don't necessarily need to rush to get this man. But if you have Alex Bone and you have Arcknight, you can make Nox, the dark VIP monster. That's what's this combination. I just remembered that. So if you want Nox, you need to get Alex Bone by the time the event starts. So you're all set and ready. You need to hatch him ahead of time. So you got to incorporate that too. So that's really important to know. Overall, one of the best thunder monsters in the game as far as I'm concerned at the moment. Really, really decent, especially at rank 3. If you've seen the shenanigans this man can do at rank 3, you are missing a lot. But yeah, this guy does a lot at rank 3. One of the best thunder monsters in the game. Able to avoid, basically Voltic insta-death. That alone is amazing. Again, really good monster. Alright, time to get to our boy Carlos. Before him, there's 10 Elementium. Elementium, as far as all the items, as far as I'm concerned, don't take that long to complete. As far as I'm concerned, once you get to them, you complete it, and then move on. Okay, what does Carlo do here? Carlo is a damage dealer. And he does that only. That's the only thing he does. He is a damage dealer. In terms of dark damage, he only does dark damage. He does a lot of dark damage, and he has like one special base skill that does like 40 damage. But beyond that, all of his damage is dark damage. And what he is able to do, this is the first time this is a thing, he's able to apply Stun Hater to himself. Basically, when you have Stun Hater when he has Stun Hater, if the enemy he hits is stunned, he will do 200% more damage. So basically, double damage buff. So basically, quad damage. He will do quad damage to whomever is stunned. He basically has 2 double damage, and you don't even have double damage. Just think about it. You don't even have any boosts yet. And if you had someone, that would be like 300% more damage. If he had double damage up, that would be 300% more damage. You have overkilled something at this point. Yeah, he has two forms of being able to apply this. One is a single target 40 damage skill. That's the special base skill. The other, I do believe, was an AoE base skill. I do believe he had a single target base skill too for this, like a dark skill. But I don't know if it was better than the special base skill. Should I recommend you the special base skill? I don't know. Other than that, he also has a really impressive self skill. He has life regeneration, stamina regeneration. I don't know if it's a guaranteed haste, but that would be really strong if it is. But he has a chance to haste. He has regen, stamina regen. I forgot what the other thing that he had was. Was it precision? I'm not 100% sure, but there was 4 things, and one of 3 of them are obviously life regen, stamina regen, haste. I forgot what the 4th one was. But he's got a lot of buffs. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, so just be cautious with that. In terms of cooldowns, I think his cooldowns are either high or alright, in moderate range. They're pretty good rotation, I think. You might want to run the special skill just for the rotation purposes, even though it's not exactly the strongest one. But I don't know if it matters if it's not, because again, if he gets that, stun hitter, you do 200% more damage. So I don't think it matters. Like, if you have like insane amount of base damage, like obviously if you're running 200%, that 40 damage skill just hits insanely at that point. Like, it just totally depends on what runes you have on it. It depends on the monster you hit. I think the number one problem is setting up for the man, in terms of, just getting it started. Because you need to have it in the order of which this man's able to go when that target is stunned. He has to hit the person when they're stunned. So if they're, no longer stunned, that doesn't really help if you have stun hitter up, because they're not they're not exactly stunned anymore. You gotta be able to do it before their next turn, or like basically before, like this guy needs to go before they move, essentially. And based on the fact that he's slow, I don't see that. The only thing I see you being able to do stun hater on would have to be the damage dealer. Either the damage dealer and or like if it's a tanky team and you can go before any of the enemies. So probably a 2 speed rune build, and it's two speeds and a strength build for this man if you're gonna run the stun hater. Otherwise, I think it's a good monster. How good, I'd have to see in combat. I can imagine his damage being pretty stupid though. I can personally see it. Again, pair this man up with Yelitri and or Nishan's pet if you do get him. Those partners are just phenomenal with them. Run the darkness weakness, obviously, for those monsters, so he gets the most out of the support. I will say that other monster to pair up with too, that last 3rd one, pair it up with something that can obviously stun, so you can take advantage of it more. Next up is Pandolfi Oh. Now, actually, this is my highest ranking highest ranking epic monster. If you guys are aware of your dib facts, this is actually my highest epic monster in the game. I personally like Pandolfi Oh. Has a extra turn skill that also magnetizes, bleeding, AoE bleeding, strong single target bleed. That's metal based, that combos with the magnetism, single target stun. That's about it. That's the build I run. That's what the extent of how much I cared to remember his kit, because I think that was the best of his kit. Really decent epic. I think his base stats all around are good. Basically the Pandolfi Oh, the epic Pandolfi Oh that isn't terrible. Which is, hard to believe. Wait, there's a Pandolf that's actually good? Yeah, in the form of Pandolfi Oh. He has nothing to do with the rest of his cousins. His epic cousins. All the epic Pandolfs are obviously terrible. But this man right here, this man's decent. This one's really, really good. Extra turn, dark damage, dark stun, AoE bleed, metal base bleed. Really, really good. Really, really nice. Really, really well, base on everything. Really, really good. Alright, now we got to the real deal. This is arcknight. This is the high prize. If you complete this entire event, this is your prize. Arcknight. Arcknight, you could say, is one of the best extra guys in the game, simply because he's able to apply guard down. So basically, guaranteed hits everything. You can't miss I don't think you can miss if you're total blind, because that's what guard down does. You're guaranteed to hit. You're guaranteed to land your attacks. Now, I actually have not seen. In all honesty, I have not seen. What happens if you're totally blind, but the enemy has guard down on them. I don't know what is the effect that goes over what. Is it the total blind, or is it the guard down? Does it just become a normal hit move at that point? You just gotta wonder. But this man is able to apply guard down, which basically means you're not gonna miss. You're guaranteed to hit the person whose guard is down. And this guy also applies guard hater. This guy pretty much applies a new effect called guard hater, which essentially means if the guy has guard down, you do 200% more damage. So basically a better double damage buff, because double damage only gives you 100% more damage. To have a quad damage against someone that has a specific stat drop, that's pretty good. It makes it so, like, even though he doesn't have double damage as a buff, it doesn't matter, because if you have guard down and then you apply guard hater, your attacker is going to do 200% more damage. He'll do way more damage than he would if he had even double damage up to begin with, because everyone's going to have their guard down. The damage deal is going to go in, hit everybody. It's going to be very, very hard. More damage than double damage for sure. And I think, to be fair, with all these haters, the right way to go. This one's obviously the best one, because it's not like a book-related hater. It's not an element-related hater. It's a stat-specific hater. It is the first stat-specific hater in the game, and it's really, really good, because if you apply the stat, it pretty much means, like, you're guaranteed to hit, and you're going to do a lot of damage to him. This is by far one of the best supports in the game. Easily. It is the best support in the game, easily. It's the best extra guy monster. I don't know if he himself has high base damage. But again, this guy is the best, best epic monster, not best epic, best extra guy monster in the game. What do I mean by extra guy monster? Basically, the extra guy monster, you can build any rune path, build any, whatever you need for that team. Team speed, power, strength, life. Full team speed, you could, full speed if you wanted. Essentially, the guy that, does everything you need. It's the slot it's the wild card. It's the thing that you need at that moment. He's there for you. That's basically what the extra guy is. That's what the third role is. It's always, your comp consists of the damage dealer, the denier, and the last part is always either the extra guy or the support. Support is usually the main term for just the third role. Usually people just put the support there, but there's also another part called the extra guy. You could say this guy's also just also a support, or what have you. I think people would say strongly more so a support monster. I know this is all confusing, so let's just say he's both. He's the best, one of the best extra guys / supports in the game. Whatever you want to call him, he's that. He is really, really good. And another impressive thing, he's one of the. I don't want to say he's one of the first monsters that apply a, deny and a DOT in the form of a basic skill, but I think he was the first one that applies a deny and a for sure status, DOT. I don't think there's been a monster yet that applies a status effect, stun and a guaranteed DOT. Or it's either been this monster, Zeron the Ruby, or Dungeon Master. I will say that if it wasn't this guy, it was probably one of those two monsters. But if not, it's totally this guy, and it's really, really good. Because what this essentially means is he can set up Carlos. He can straight up set up Carlos with his stun hater. So basically, the combo is you have this guy be your extra guy, your special, your support, right? You have your mainstream denier. Have the mainstream denier go, deny. Apply guard down. Then Carlos will do his stun hater move, get set up for that. Your denier will go again, do whatever it will, and then Carlos will go again, apply guard hater, or no, not like, yeah. Or you could, okay, here's what you could do. But I'm just saying for the last part. When you're present, your denier goes to turn 2. Have it deny, have it stun. I think that might be the better choice. Have it stun. Or depending what the order, have arcknight. Whatever the turn order is, it's best if both, like, your denier is able to stun too. Give it that option depending on the turn order, and whatever the turn order is the most beneficial, do that. Whoever's gonna go, the benefit, whoever gets the most out of the guard down, whoever gets the most out of the stun guard down, or stun down or whatever, or stun hater. Stun hater is the correct term, by the way. Stun hater. So let's say if all 3 monsters go... Let's say this. If all 3 monsters go pretty much after your deny, if like Al and like Carlo go after the enemy's 3 monsters, essentially what you can do is have your mainstream denier deny them that isn't up stun, and then K9 can go stun everyone, and then Carlos could do his damage to a problem monster, because you'd have to do, I guess you could do your AoE after you set it up with the special based one. I'm just talking a bunch of combos at this point. But essentially that's how you would do it. I think that's how you would do it. I'm sorry for that, just like that monologue of information, but as you can see here, it's not an easy combo to set up. As straight up is in terms of just setting up stun hater. But if we're just talking about guard down, I think that is 1,000 times easier to set up than just setting up stun hater, in all honesty. But you can see the synergy. You can get the synergy. My point in the synergy between Al and Carlo. They're obviously partners in crime. Because yes, that was relevant to the gangs, the Monster Legends. They're partners in crime. They partner really, really well together. They're synergized, and the synergy is stupid. I'm saying the synergy is really, really, really good. So much damage and a lot of potential with those 2 monsters. All in all, this is a phenomenal Progression Island event. Is as good as the Ingenica. Probably not. I mean, you got a bunch of relics in that one. I don't think the value of that one could ever go away. But this is nonetheless a really, really good event, I will say, in terms of Progression Island, not including the special relic one. I'd say this one's the best one so far, possibly. Based on what you get for goodies here, this is some really good competitive monsters here. If you wanted some competitive monsters, these are currently really good ones. Not the top of the top, but really, really good. Like, extremely good. This one for sure top of the top. Hands down, arcknight is one of the best monsters in the game. Easily. There's no debate about it. Really, really good support. Really, really good whatever you want to call it. It's just one of the best monsters in the game. Hope you guys stay tuned for the monster guides for these monsters, for they will be detailed, and they'll probably be the same amount of information I give here. So yeah, that's everything you need to know about this event. Do take part in it. It's very, very important that you do, because there's a lot of good goodies on the board, and you should take them while you can. And you have 8 days, 6 hours to do so. I'm Dib the Awesome, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.